Hey guys, welcome back to another video here on Toned In Entertainment where we love pop culture. Today, it's time for another comic book review. Now, when we left off with issue number 2 of Proctor Valley, August, Rylee, Cora, and Jennie had just come to the scary realization of what the letters landlady that were tattooed on their stomachs actually meant. Will they get any answers? Well, let's get on with my comic book review for Proctor Valley Road, issue number 3. As issue 3 opens up, the ladies of Chula Vista are once again getting a lecture by the principal on how they've not only brought shame to the school, but their nice and quiet beachside community. And from here, the principal will not only lecture these ladies, but he will go on to berate them as well. First, he will tell August, "You little Miss Butter wouldn't melt if you're as smart as you think you are. You wouldn't be this far up a certain creek." Next, he'll tell Rylee, the doyenne of the D average. Is that Princeton on the line? No, it's Jack in the Box. Then he'll go on to stereotype Cora by telling her, "You sure the boys aren't camped out in Tijuana with one of your primos?" And finally, he'll try to crush Jennie's dreams of becoming an astronaut as he tells her, "And based on your last math pop quiz, Judy Jetson, quick thinking and problem solving skills aren't your forte. At the rate you're going, NASA will laugh you out of the room." Now, the principal will tell the ladies that they still have the opportunity to do the right thing. All they have to do is tell him where the boys are. But the principal, he seems to have an ulterior motive in getting the boys back, as he tells them that Bobby's mom is one of the school's financial backers and had plans to fund the new school library. So essentially, no Bobby, no money. Now, this story does take place in the 70s, so when the principal mentions the library, that's when Jennie has the idea if they can access the archives and public records, that might just end up leading them in the right direction. But after 3 hours of researching, these ladies have no leads. That is until Jennie says out loud that the landlady wants them to know who she is, or she wouldn't have used them as a human chalkboard. Now, saying the landlady's name out loud, that's gonna have the librarian chip in with his 2 cents, as he says that his advice is to keep her name out of their mouths. The librarian goes on to tell the ladies that her name was Shirley Hedson and folks weren't too fond of her because of how different she was. That she was to blame for a cattle rustler that, let's just say, didn't suffer a humane death. From there, the locals tied Shirley to a wagon wheel and torched her alive, and the fire that spewed ran rampant throughout the valley. The librarian goes on to tell the ladies that Proctor Valley already at that time wasn't the most welcoming place, but after that event, it became rotten to the core. The librarian's last words to these ladies before they head out will be, "If you've seen the landlady, you're as good as dead." But that won't scare off August, who's determined to make it to the Janis Joplin show. And if she has to throw down 10 rounds with the landlady, she'll have no problem in doing so. Later that night, August and her mom will have a conversation, and August will pose a question to her mom that if it bothers her not knowing where her husband, August's dad, is after he deserted them. Now, while August has tried to reassure her mom that she won't be taking off on her, that's when there's a knock at the door, and a man named Chad Dallas is there, and he's going to be taking August's mom out on a date to the movies to go see the new Arnold Schwarzenegger movie, Hercules, in New York. Now, we do find out that Chad is a police officer, and being the go-getter that August is, she's gonna find a way to, let's say, borrow Chad's police car. And while August's friends are having quite the groovy time, they are startled at first, especially Cora, when they see flashing lights, but do breathe a sign of relief as they set off in the hot wire car and head off to Proctor Valley Road. Now, here is where things are gonna get crazy as the ladies begin their search for Bruce and Bobby. First, they will find a note carved on the tree that August believes Bobby has recently left, saying, "Nobody really dies out here." And then not only do they see the landlady once again, but they also come across her pet, the giant bull with the chains. And with the ladies' backs against the wall, that's when August, who feels it's her responsibility to step up as she's got her friends in this predicament in the first place, to do something. And let's just say that something ends with a big kaboom. Now, as for August, well, she is standing tall, but the same can't be said for the landlady's guard dog. Now the weirdness of Proctor Valley will continue as it begins to rain, but not water, but actually teeth begin falling from the sky. Now while our ladies are able to get out of Dodge, here comes the principal trying to find the boys because he really wants that library money. Now the principal, let's just say he's forced out of his car, and when he takes a look around Proctor Valley, not only will he come across the crazy hyenas, the landlady, but also a young man named Bobby Cleat who, let's just say, suffered a crazy fate. Now the principal quickly realizes that the girls might have actually been telling the truth about Proctor Valley Road. And as the landlady stares the principal down, she tells him that she sent the girls home each with a little souvenir, something to remember her by. That those patsies don't know what suffering is yet. Now on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm gonna give Proctor Valley Road issue number 3 a 9 out of 10. Now when Proctor Valley Road first started, a lot of people were comparing it to Stranger Things, but 3 issues in, I don't feel that's the case. I feel like this story is very unique, very fun, and just like I said in my issue 2 review, not only am I really enjoying the story, but I'm also loving these characters. They really do take on a life of their own. Now we know it was raining teeth at the end of issue number 3 here. Was that the souvenir that the landlady was talking about, or is it something else? Well, I can't wait to find out when issue number 4 of Proctor Valley Road releases on June 9th. All right, guys, if you like comic book reviews like this and all things pop culture, make sure you stay tuned in here to Toned In Entertainment for future videos.
Subscribe to the channel. Do it. Go now. Do it now.